I accidentally sh*t the bed in front of my boyfriend. Warning. Don't read this if you have any problems with feces and that kind of sh*t, pun intended. Someone told me that I should share this embarrassing story, so here we go. Disclaimer: English isn't my first language, so I'm sorry for all the spelling and grammar mistakes. Me, F18, had just gotten into a relationship with my new sweet boyfriend, M20. A little information about me: I have a chronic stomach wound that pops up whenever I'm really stressed. The relationship was very new, so we were both still quite shy. We had just gotten comfortable enough to fart in front of each other and often made jokes out of it. About a month into our relationship, I had to go to the hospital with my stomach wound. I was there for a week, and he was super supportive the whole time. When I finally got home from the hospital, my body was so weak that I wasn't allowed to drink or eat anything for the whole week because of the tests they had to do. Therefore, my body had pretty much shut down, nothing had come in, so nothing came out. I got prescribed some laxatives that I took, never having taken them before. I didn't know what to expect, but it definitely wasn't this. We were lying in bed. I was on my side looking at my phone, and he was half sitting up in bed playing RuneScape on his laptop in front of me. I could feel a fart coming, so I looked up into his eyes with a smirky face expression and said, "I'm sh*ting." I meant to say I'm farting, but the words came out wrong, and so did something else. The moment I said it, I let it all out, still with a smirk on my face, looking him right in the eyes. You could hear a wet, bubbly sound, and I instantly knew what had happened. My smile was faded, and my face turned to horror. My hand flew down to stop the flow, but it was too late. My boyfriend jumped up and ran to the toilet to bring me paper. He helped me clean up while just laughing hysterically. I was so embarrassed that I couldn't even say anything. Later, when we sat and talked, he told me that it was the most intimidating thing he had ever experienced. The way I looked right into his eyes, he had never felt so dominated in his life. Like a monkey sh*ting in its hand and throwing it. Needless to say, we got very comfortable with intimate things like that after this. Even though we've broken up since then and it's been a few years, I'm still just as embarrassed to this day. I was the most allergic kid in the world for about 14 minutes. I don't know if they still do this, but when I was little, they'd do allergy tests by pricking your bare back with a bunch of little allergen squares. I was about 8, I think, and my mom got it in her head that I was allergic to something, so we went. I'm lying there. The doctor puts on his gloves and pulls out a tray. We begin, and I'm instantly itchy. Every new placement brings more unbearable itchiness. He starts reading off the reactions. Eggs, milk and dairy, honey. Peanuts. Tree nuts. Strawberries. Chocolate. Wheat. Papaya. On, and I'm allergic to every growing thing. By now, I'm thinking that my life is obviously over. He keeps going, and he's getting excited. You know how young doctors get when they think they're going to be published? Yeah, the first tray is done, and I'm allergic to everything. He pulls out a second tray. Cats, dogs, rodents, fleas, rabbits, roaches, and birds, on, and I'm allergic to every crawling thing. He pulls out a small, super special tray. Gold, silver, zinc, and more. I'm allergic to everything stoic. He's sweating now. He needs to call somebody to see the most allergic kid in the world. I'm bawling my eyes out. My mom is biting her nails, trying to figure out how to keep me alive. The kind nurse gave me a pair of gloves to play with to distract me. I put one glove on, then the other. I take the first one off and blow it up like a balloon. The itchiness is spreading. I scratch my face. The nurse bellows for the doctor, who races back in with an older doctor and an eager intern in tow. He takes one look at me, and I can see his dreams of fame and fortune crumble. The older doctor starts laughing. The intern looks concerned. The doctor sighs, gives me a shot, and has the nurse scrub me down. I was allergic to latex. My son, 22, admitted that he forced himself on someone at a party, and my wife is covering for him. It's a messed up situation. This took place 2 weeks ago. My son was attending a friend's birthday party and came home drunk. He only admitted to my wife that he forced himself on a girl at the party. My wife told me the next day, and I didn't know how to feel about it, but she kept defending him, and we had a huge fight about it. She kept covering for him, basically just giving excuses like him being drunk and then expressing guilt and regret. I've been later told that the girl he forced himself on is the same girl he's been trying to get with multiple times but got rejected. I didn't react well. A couple of his friends who were also trying to cover for him got officially banned from my home. My wife has been fighting with me about it as well, and she keeps calling me names just for refusing to support her. The house has been like hell ever since. I don't talk to her or my son, and there's so much stonewalling when I try to speak to them, and I'm sick of it. I don't know how things will play out going forward or how my son is going to fix this, but I'm just so mad I can't even sit at the same table with him, or my wife, for that matter. My husband is pushing me to agree to make my sister our surrogate using the traditional method. My husband and I have been struggling with infertility. We've tried some options, and right now we're looking into surrogacy. My sister agreed to do it, but my husband said he looked at how much time and money IVF would take and slowly started hinting that we take the traditional way. I was too shocked to even say anything, but he acted like what he said was not even that big of a deal. He explained that it's just a quick way for us to have a baby and spare the money and time to use later. I'm 100% against it. That is the way I'm backing down and am no longer comfortable with this whole surrogacy route. I can't even imagine my sister's reaction once she hears my husband's suggestion. I'm both devastated over the fact that 1, he'd even entertain having sex with my sister just because he wants the easy way, and 2, if I ever agree despite feeling uncomfortable, then I will always carry this memory of how the baby is conceived. I refused and shut his suggestion down hard. He's now started guilting me, saying I don't trust him, and then saying I'm selfish for choosing to back out when he still wants to be a dad like he expected when he married me. Basically, blame me for my inability issues. I feel so devastated and like my body is useless and has failed me to the point where I could expect any negative comment on it, whether true or not. Emotionally and mentally. I just can't express how I feel right now. By the way, my sister is 4 years younger than me. I'm 34 years old, and my husband is 37. I just found out that my husband has been texting a 16-year-old girl. I'm feeling numb and confused right now and need to get this off my chest. We've both been married for 3 years, there have been no major fights or disagreements, and my discovery happened about 2 weeks ago. I'm in utter shock that I sometimes forget this is really happening. It turns out he's been sexting this 16-year-old girl for 3 months now. I saw their exchanged texts on Facebook, and I did some digging by looking at her Facebook profile. She's 16 years old and Asian American. Now I don't know if he knows her outside of Facebook because really all I know is some little information, but I'm burning inside, afraid of the confrontation and how it might go. Not only am I devastated over the fact that he's potentially cheating, but also over the fact that she's a minor. I'm lost on what to do, who to tell, or how to process this. I do not think this is a forgivable thing for me to move past, even if he comes up with an explanation for it. My wife caught me cheating. So yesterday, it finally happened. My wife of 8 years caught me cheating, and we ended up having a huge fight. I never saw it as a big deal. I told her she's overreacting, but all she seems to think is that I've broken the most important thing in a marriage, which is trust. I've been doing it ever since we got married, and even a little bit before. I never considered it wrong. She's still mad about it, and staying with her parents means we can barely have a conversation without her telling me I'm gaslighting her. She said straight up that she wants a divorce, and I just think it's such a big overreaction. I told her it was just a game of Uno, but she doesn't care. Anyone have any advice?